Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you are having a great day and welcome back to episode 6 of the fourth quarter podcast. And happy June 1st to all that celebrate. Happy first of the month, a huge month for flight. If you know, guys. We're celebrating for flight this month. Now, anyway, guys, so huge weekend in sports. Obviously, now none other than huge Game 7 upset almost, you want to say, in the NBA. We saw the Spurs defeat the Thunder in Game 7, 111 to 103. A huge kind of surprising and stunning outcome in this game, guys. Obviously, a huge game from Victor Wembanyama, putting up 20 points and 7 boards. But honestly, the guy on the Spurs, the unsung hero of the Spurs, the guy who had a huge series and a huge Game 7, Julian Champagnie with 20 points and 6 threes. Huge performance for him. Usually you see role players play well. The home team play well at home, but this guy for the Spurs, I feel like all their role players have played well this entire playoff run, but especially, Game 7, a guy like Julian Champagnie with 20 points and having 6 threes is big time. Great for him. His twin brother on the Wiz, Justin, great for you guys, man. The Champagnie bros, shout out both you guys. Great performance for you, Julian. But yeah, also, De'Aaron Fox, 15 points. And also Dylan Harper had a huge game as well. Made some very tough shots there down the stretch. And honestly, the Spurs were in control for most of this game. And the Thunder were to go on their runs there. They brought it back within 5. They also tied it quite a few times there. Late in the third quarter there, and the Spurs would always have a way to counter that with just going on another run. And a guy like Dylan Harper made some huge shots for the Spurs. So yeah, great win for them. They now are going to go on to face the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals. It should be a great finals. Obviously, I think the Knicks are going to be favored in this in Vegas, on paper before we even start here. But we still have 2 days before Game 1. I think it's still Wednesday night. So yeah, plenty of time there before that. But guys, huge upset almost, but yeah, we should have a great, NBA Finals here. We'll see the Spurs take on the Knicks here. I believe Game 1 will be in San Antonio too, so obviously, the Spurs fans will be very loud there. Obviously, their team, getting to the Finals is a huge accomplishment. But anyway, guys, yeah, so for the Thunder, actually, Shea did play his best game of the series in Game 7. Obviously, he had 35 points and 9 assists. He did finally have a typical SGA performance. He's making all kinds of tough shots, hitting threes, had some nice dunks there on. But guys, he just didn't get much help from anybody. We're not gonna, Chet, we'll get to that, but the second leading scorer was I was a big fan of Mark Daigneault starting Cason Wallace in the starting lineup over J-Dub or over McCain for J-Dub, because J-Dub didn't play in Game 7, but also, Cason Wallace had 17 points, huge game for him, but just not enough from anybody else. Like Jared McCain he got stuff going, but we have some breaking news, guys. It seems that Odell Beckham Jr. will be returning to the New York Giants. Great for you, Odell. One of my favorite players, reunited with Coach Harbaugh now. Great celebration. I'm sure he's very excited. But yeah, OBJ back in New York where it all started. That's pretty sick. So yeah, good luck to the Giants and OBJ. But anyway, guys, yeah, so Cason Wallace had a pretty good game. But other than that, Lou Dort really struggled to get things going there. And especially, guys, Chet Holmgren, had 4 points, but didn't attempt a single shot in the second half. For your all-star, your second-best player, especially when J-Dub is out, you got to be more aggressive there. And obviously it's because of Wemby. Wemby was kind of shutting Chet down there in this series. He was basically invisible out there, guys. And obviously your second-best player, who's like at least over 7'4", I want to say, he can't turn invisible like that in Game 7. Just can't have that. Chet did have a very good Game 7 against the Pacers in the NBA Finals last year. So, it's not like you never played into Game 7 before. It was very disappointing to see Chet kind of really disappear when they really needed the most there. And honestly, for the Thunder, I don't think they'll kind of make a lot of moves this offseason. Sam Presti, in my opinion, the greatest general manager in all of sports. I think they let him cook there. Like we say, let EDC cook. I think the Thunder, they chill. You let Sam Presti cook. I don't think you make any crazy moves. Don't trade Chet still. I think you got a good thing going there still. You didn't have healthy J-Dub all season. I think if you have J-Dub healthy all series, and also AJ Mitchell missed this whole series too. And if you don't remember, he made a huge impact in the Lakers series. He was also the Suns series as well, but he was a huge scorer for the Thunder without J-Dub. So without him, and obviously J-Dub is tough loss for the Thunder. But yeah, they're going to have to bounce back from this loss. A very tough loss at home, Game 7 to one of their rivals. Yeah, it's going to sting, obviously. But, Shea played great Game 7. But, yeah, he's got to be better in those other games. They had a chance to close them out in Game 5. Just couldn't really get it done. But anyway, guys, yeah, I don't expect the Thunder to make any crazy moves here this offseason. They still got a pretty good thing going here. So, anyway, guys, yeah, Huge weekend for the Orioles as well. Before the game Saturday afternoon, before Game 7, it looked like we were going to be headed for a freaking sweep against the Jays. Game 1, they beat us I think they beat us 2-1 that Thursday night game, but then the Friday night game, they kind of beat us pretty good there. And then the Saturday game, we're going to the ninth inning down 5-1 in the ninth inning, and we end up scoring 5 runs to walk off the game in the bottom of the ninth inning off Jeff Hoffman, who, have lots of karma coming his way, if you ask me. How'd Game 7 of the World Series go, buddy? He should not have tripped the Orioles bench last year. Whatever, bro. That's your own problem there. But he walked in, the bases loaded. Then I think he gives up like 2 or 3 singles, like bloop singles, and then Pete Alonso. They actually take him out of the game, eventually take him out of the game, and the bases are still loaded. And at that point, it's 6-5. At this point, it's 5-4, and Pete Alonso has a nice RBI single there. 2 guys score, and we take the lead 6-5. What a huge win for us guys there. That's the type of win that I think can kind of set your whole season forward. Like, you talk about the difference that makes, because you're looking at potentially getting swept. And, especially we'll talk about tomorrow's game, but earlier in a second. But if you're talking about getting swept there, 3 games, Toronto's playing some very good ball right now. But I think we're, in a spot where we need to win these games against some tough division opponents coming up here soon. But, yeah, it's very important that we win these games. And obviously, to be down 5-1 in the ninth inning, with Basayo went swinging and swung. The only out that Jeff Hoffman recorded was Basayo's strike 3 strikeout, and it looked like he really injured his shoulder on that play. He basically swung with one arm there. Very bizarre there to see. But anyway, yeah, so a huge win for the Orioles on Saturday. Jeff Hoffman blew the save. It's just amazing. Pete Alonso, RBI, walk-off RBI single. But yeah, like Leody Taveras had a clutch, bloop single there. Taylor Ward, just awesome guys. We love to see that. And again, I think this is the type of win that can truly help us get moving in the right direction, guys. And also, speaking of the Orioles, yesterday, what a game from Kyle Bradish. I truly think he could definitely be our ace. Obviously, we've seen some great outings consecutively from him. We got him shutting out the Rays last game. But this game, he had 7 innings of 1 unearned run ball. Great performance from Kyle Bradish. It's just awesome. His his curveball was looking great yesterday. He does look when he's got those pitches spinning, he can turn the ball very, very nasty, and he's one of the most nastiest pitches to hit in all of baseball, I truly believe. But yeah, Kyle Bradish pitched very well yesterday. I do think he's starting to pitch his way into becoming our ace. You love to see that, guys. Obviously, we got him in the Dylan Bundy trade years ago now. So anyway, yeah, it's nice to see some kind of these players come back and make some positive impacts on our team. Obviously now, also great. We won 9-5 yesterday. Offense looked great yesterday. Huge game from Colton Cowser again. Had a nice 3-run shot there. Basayo, Rutschman, Gunnar, Taylor Ward. I feel like all the boys were hitting well this weekend. Pete Alonso's hitting great this weekend, guys. And yeah, there is one thing I do want to talk about. I do like this guy. I'm a big fan of him, but he's been struggling a lot this year when they bring him in. It's Tyler Wells. He used to be a starter. He was our 5th starter a couple years ago. He was pretty consistent, solid back then. But since then, he's battled some injuries, and it's been tough for him. But he's just given up some home runs in the bullpen. You can't really have that, obviously. I think in the game against the Blue Jays, or maybe against the Rays, that Wednesday night game, I think he kind of struggled, walked in some guys, gave up some hits there. And then we had Andrew Kittredge come in there in the top of the ninth, I believe, there to strike out the side, but he kind of cleaned up his mess he left us in. But yeah, guys, Tyler Wells gave up a couple home runs yesterday in the ninth inning there, where we're winning 9-1 at that point. He made it 9-5 though, so obviously, can't really have that going on there. It's not really anything you want to see, and obviously for Tyler Wells, it's tough because we don't really need him in the bullpen. In the bullpen, but we need him kind of as our long reliever guy. But if he's gonna be giving up those home runs, I'd much rather have Big Albert Suarez in that role. So anyway, guys, yeah, we'll see what's going on with Tyler Wells. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. A huge win for the O's this weekend. 2 huge wins. But again, that game on Saturday afternoon, that'll turn things around. I think we'll win maybe 10 of our next 15 games, guys. That's going to be huge. We got the Red Sox coming up this week, and the Jays again at the end of the week. So yeah, and then the Padres coming to town this weekend, guys. So yeah, huge game. You got the NBA Finals tipping off on Wednesday night in San Antonio, and tomorrow night Stanley Cup tips off. I believe it's going to be in Carolina. You got the Vegas Knights and Carolina Hurricanes. I'll give you guys more of a kind of a prediction for the finals in tomorrow's video. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Go O's, and peace. Shout out to Flight 23 White, my guy. Flight Team Crew, FTC. Hey, Please like, subscribe, guys, and thanks for watching. Peace. June 1st.